Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 553 and Doubleshot number 459. Two Batgirl-related trades. Okay, first up it is, excuse me, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, Volume 2. Source code. Written by Shauna Benson and Julia Benson. Artwork by Rogue Antino and Claire Rowe. Yeah, that's who does the oh, there's one artist, Bernino Tamria. Yeah. Mostly put, this is a really good set of stories. The first issue is a standalone, was just, well, a Valentine's Day issue. Yeah, that's simply put what the first issue is. Yep. The next issue that comes right after that is a storyline known as Blackbird, which guest stars Nightwing and Green Arrow, which has them basically take on the daughter of Madame Rouge, Gemini. Yep. I'm kind of like, okay, so does Madame Rouge exist in this universe? And this is the first time I've actually heard of it. I was actually a little surprised. Uh-huh. And it's actually a really good story, and even Roulette makes an appearance. I'm like, okay, this is the first time I've ever seen Roulette post Flashpoint, and it's interesting to keep her around, which is great. I'm glad they didn't erase her. She's a pretty interesting character. She runs illegal fight clubs. And then, pretty much like right after that, the next storyline involves, well, Catwoman and Poison Ivy. Let's see if I can find the name of the story. Blackbird is a 3-part story. So that takes up issues at least 8 through 10. And then like the last 3 issues is called, if I can find it here, Source Code. Yep. And it itself is a 3-parter. It reveals like that the new Oracle, Gus, apparently he's been working with the Calculator. Now, I love the fact that Benson's brought in the Calculator, because the Calculator is probably by far the main villain of the original Birds of Prey book when Gail Simone was writing it. And it's great that they threw him in. Awesome. Interesting though, they also referenced the previous Birds of Prey, which Poison Ivy was on, along with people like Strix, Sterling, who betrayed the team for no explained reason. Like, oh, she's working with Mr. Freeze all along. Bizarre. Yeah, there was like a bunch of other characters, and Poison Ivy was definitely on that team, but she was only on the roster for about the first good chunk of it, and also Katana was in the book, and then she left after like a little over a year just so she could join Just Like America. Now she's part of the Suicide Squad. Catwoman is interesting. Of course, they also referenced her being engaged to Batman. Of course, that comes into play in the next storyline. But all in all, great set of issues, and I highly recommend people who are fans of the Birds of Prey, and especially people fans of Batgirl, the Huntress, the Black Canary. Oh yeah, Jim Gardner pops up in here as well, and it appears though that this is something really weird though. Apparently, the judge at her parole hearing was paid off. Okay, so instead of being trapped in Blackgate, actually, it happened most recently with her mother, which I'll get to that when that trade comes out. But this, really good, 9.5 out of 10. Highly recommend it. And it's great, though, the fact that Catwoman and Poison Ivy briefly joined the roster. It's great. Next up is Batgirl Volume 2, Son of the Penguin. And this collects Batgirl Volume, I think this is Volume 5. Yeah, Volume 5 issues 7 through 11 and the annual. The main series itself is done by Hope Larson. Yeah, Hope Larson does all the Batgirl issues. The annual is done by somebody else. Yeah. Let's talk briefly about the annual. Yeah. The annual is really good. Now, there's a couple stories in it. The first story is it's called World's Finest Team Up between Batgirl and Supergirl, which, according to this is the first time these two have ever met. And the whole point of this story, it's a backdoor pilot to the second arc of Supergirl. That's really the whole point of the story, just a backdoor pilot to it. Yep, that's really the whole point of that story. Also, Empress, stuff like that. The next story is just, well, Batgirl thing with plants. Plants, and yeah, it's a simple standalone story. Plus, it kind of ties into what goes on in the pages of Batgirl. With Alyssa, with the whole thing of her possibly moving back in. Let's see if I can find the right page here. Yeah, I think that Hope Larson does the second story, but the first story is done by somebody else. And no, Stephen Lenz does not do the story at all, which is odd to say the least. Yeah, actually, Hope Larson does do the first story, Rain Check, which is all about the anniversary of Barbara and Alyssa being friends. This is written by Benita Alia and artwork by Anora Carlin. Yep. Now, the Batgirl storyline with Son of Penguin. Yeah, it's revealed that the Penguin has a son named Ethan. And here's how he was conceived. Apparently, Penguin had a one-night stand with one of his waitresses. Yep. And he wanted nothing really much to do with the son, so he had her sent away, though he did pay child support, though. And eventually, he came back from being in Switzerland in college. And throughout this storyline, Barbara has sort of a brief relationship with Ethan. And there's even an odd issue where Batgirl and the Penguin are basically playing ping pong. Yeah. And also, for some reason, Hope Larson decided to make Penguin a recurring character in Batgirl. Okay, it's something interesting, though, that they do with the character. I mean, she's probably like the first writer to do anything big with this character. I mean, Snyder did have him appear in the first arc for All-Star Batman. But aside from that, he hadn't really done all that much. Yeah, this is all about... Oh, yeah, and also Penguin also is currently appearing in Harley Quinn for some reason. Yeah, I'm like... Okay, I don't know why in the world he's popped up in two books. One, of course, is regular DC Universe canon, while the other one is set before New 52. Well, before the current continuity. Excuse me. Yeah. I almost forgot to mention in the last review that it was revealed in the Screaming Santa storyline that the character Cena, who was decided to claim she was Han Solo's wife, and really she wasn't. Apparently, she was in a brief relationship with Dr. Aphra, confirming that this character is bisexual. Okay, bizarre to say the least, but moving on to this. I gotta say, the cover art for this thing is gorgeous. I love the cover art for this thing. Who does the covers for this book? Let's see. Yeah. Ooh. I know who this artist is now. This cover is done by the awesome Francis Manifold. Yeah, he's the one who does the covers, which is fantastic. I kind of wish he did the interiors as well. Of course, the interiors are done by Chris Wilgoose, John Lamb, Akaya Miranda, and Eloy Carolina. Yeah. Also, this is probably by far the only series you can regularly see Commissioner Gordon pop up in. Well, he should pop up for like a couple issues, but I think mainly he pops up in Batgirl books on an occasion. But it seems like the Batgirl books are the only book that do anything with Jim Gordon, because it seems like Batman is just moving so far away from the classic stuff he's known for, he just barely gets time to use the GCPD characters. But as this book itself, I gotta say, this is better than Beyond Burnside. Yeah, this is 10 times better. Oh yeah, and apparently while she was on vacation, apparently her coffee shop that she frequented apparently was turned into a pet shop for some reason. Yeah. All in all, this was a great story. And I gotta say, if you want to start Batgirl, skip Beyond Burnside. You probably want to bypass that story because that story is not very good. But you kind of have to read that storyline just against, because that storyline is referenced a couple times in here. Yeah, it's referenced, but doesn't really affect the main story. But this is where the series starts getting interesting. Yeah, and also in recent issues, she apparently has her own Batgirl mobile. No joking about that. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. This storyline felt like a great improvement over Beyond Burnside. Yeah, this was a tremendous improvement. The annual is amazing, and I can't wait to review the second volume of Supergirl, because Supergirl is amazing, despite the fact it's going to be ending with the next issue. Sad. Okay? So I'm gonna give this book a 9 out of 10. Great improvements over the last book. I kind of wish Francis Manipul was doing interiors again because it seems like though he doesn't really care to do interiors anymore. I think the last book he did interiors for was Trinity. I haven't reviewed Trinity yet, but I am reading it. It is actually a really damn good series. All right, so that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for episode number 400, not 400, 554, and Doubleshot number 460. What am I gonna review next? I think it's probably gonna be some Batman trades. I'll find out when I take a look. But expect to see more DC trades next episode. Okay. But to see you all next video. Bye.